So today I want to talk to you guys about something which is totally different from what I normally talk about. Today I want to talk about social confidence. And this is a very important talk to most people because most people go through life lacking social confidence. And I want to tell you a story about how and when I discovered social confidence, because most people I know say to me that I pretty much exude confidence all the time, but it wasn't always that way. So I must have been in 11th or 12th grade, and I remember there was a bunch of kids in school that thought they were really, really cool. And I remember thinking to myself, these kids are so shallow, and I see right through them, and I don't know why they think they're so cool. Any of you guys have that experience? Where like people walk around like they're so cool, right? And it's like, does anybody see what I see? But because people lacked social confidence, they were afraid to be themselves around these guys and girls, and pretty much conformed to what they thought were the expectations of the group. I remember saying to myself, why do they think they're so cool? I don't think they're so cool. But they think they're cool, and what's worse, other people think they're cool, and even if they don't, they act like they do, and so they encourage that type of thinking. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
So I started thinking about it. They think they're cool. They act like they're cool because they think they're cool. Other people think they're cool. It dawned on me. They think they're cool. That's why they think they're cool, right? They think they're cool, and so they act on what they believe to be true, and then other people act on what they perceive to be true, even if what the person originally believes is a lie. The other person doesn't know that because it's what they perceived, and perception is reality. Isn't that true?
Sure.
So I decided at that point, and you might find this hard to believe, but I was very much a loner when I was in high school. I was very small. I think I started 11th grade. I must have been 105 pounds in the beginning of 11th grade. I was very small. I was already into martial arts and everything else. But a lot of times I kept to myself. I did my own thing. I didn't run with a big social group. And in that instant, I realized the secret to social confidence. I said, whatever cool is, from this point forward, I'm super cool. I just decided that. I said, listen, if they can decide that they're cool, I can just as easily decide from here on in, I'm super cool. And I started to act on that belief. And you know what happened? My life completely changed. You can't change another person, but what you can change is how people respond to you based on what you believe to be true about yourself. If you believe you're uncool, you're going to act as if you're uncool, and people are going to treat you that way. But people, get this, people will treat you exactly the way you train them to. People will treat you exactly the way you train them to. In other words, if somebody treats you in a way that you disagree with, and you don't let them know that you disagree with that behavior, they're going to continue to do that because you never said to them, I disagree with that behavior. Does that make sense, everybody?
Sure.
So, in other words, it's up to you to determine how people respond to you, even if up until this point a person has treated you differently. You know how many people came up to me later on and said, wow, I didn't realize you were such a cool guy. How come we weren't friends? I said, I don't know. Maybe the circumstances just weren't right. Give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, I went on, after that through college and everything else based on that belief and decided I was going to live my life according to my own choosing. I was going to do the things that made me feel good about being me. And that's how we end up here today, right? Everybody knows I've achieved a lot of things, in the martial arts and in education. But I would have never done that had I listened to people who told me that I couldn't, or had I paid attention when people poked fun at what I did, because nobody's poking fun anymore. They used to say, look at him, that silly guy, he's doing all these silly things, and they say, look at what he's up to now. You know what they say now? Hey man, can I get a minute of your time? How did you achieve all of this? I just don't get it. See, do you understand what I mean? So here's the ultimate secret. The ultimate secret of social confidence, or what teenagers might call being cool, or what anybody might call being cool. The ultimate secret of being cool is this. Is everybody listening?
Yes, sir.
I thought you might be. Stop trying to be interesting. It's boring. When you try to be interesting, you are the most boring person at the party. You know what I mean? You ever see like the infomercials? Hey, come buy from us. We're the greatest. Everything is wonderful. We're great. Yeah, goodbye. Right? But what if somebody came and said, hey, tell me about you. Tell me about yourself. What do you like? What do you dislike? What makes you happy? What makes you unhappy? That person is the opposite of trying to be interesting. That person has become interested. If you want to be cool, stop trying to be interesting and become interested. Become interested in another person. Ask them, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, what's been going on in your life? People love to talk about things that are going on in their lives. And you know what? Very few people ask. And very few people who ask really mean it. Become one of those people who asks and really, really means it. Second thing is become interested in yourself. Ask yourself, what do I really, really like and am good at? What do I like that I'm good at? Is there something I really like that I'm good at? I love martial arts. I love teaching martial arts. I love training in martial arts. I love training people in martial arts. Once upon a time, I was a martial arts athlete, and today I train martial arts athletes. I love it. I love it so much that on my off time, I'm watching it, or I'm reading about it, or I'm practicing it on my own to the point where, back in 2004, I was inducted into the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame, and not a lot of people saw that coming back when they used to make fun of the stuff that I did. Does that make sense, everybody?
Sure.
But I didn't care because I was interested, and my interest made me interesting. Your interest makes you interesting. Some of you guys are into art, some of you are into science, some of you are into music, some of you are into maybe other activities, and that interest, the fact that you are interested, makes you really, really interesting. Some of you speak multiple languages. That's really interesting. Some of you have traveled around the world. That's really interesting. That makes you interesting without you trying to be interesting, because when you're trying, you know what you're doing? You're trying too hard. Does everybody understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is this. A, be yourself. Because people who are trying to be popular are winning fans and not friends. Most people go through life with only a small handful of friends, and they should consider themselves lucky to have a small handful of friends that you can really count as your friends, and maybe you can count them on one hand. Even people who are perceived to be popular really truly only have a small handful of friends, so automatically you're on even playing field. So popularity is a lie and it's a myth. True popularity is self-acceptance, and you'll find self-acceptance when you become interested in yourself, and become interested in other people. As William Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. Everybody get it?
Sure.
All right.